Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Subject som känner konsolata konsolferina. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Good day, mate. I'm Kylie the Kangaroo. I'd like to be telling you blokes that I'm only here because the jackass next to me is on the UMKC Kangaroos tonight. But sadly, that's not the only reason. When these mooks smuggled me out of the Australia, when they took me out of the bush, they said I could mostly hang out with the dogs here. Wow, I really lost the plot there. And enjoy me rest and hang out with me Joey. They stole me Joey and took him to Catonsville. And this mook next to me can't hit the god darn bet. So here I am again. Poof, poof, poof. Let's do better, boys. Good on ya. The whole lot of you. You're rotten. I think I'm Scottish now. Get in me belly.
It changes a little bit every it's a different
Gotta
accent
keep them on their toes,
every
Beltway
5
Ben.
seconds. Yeah.
Trust me, Kylie, watching the games with Kylie last night, watching that Wizards Blazers game with Kylie, dude, she was staring dead. She's like, "Are you sure, mate? Are you bloody sure the Blazers are winning this game? You fucking animal! Where's Denny? Where's Denny at the 6-minute mark of the fourth quarter? Where is he? Does the manager not know he can't score without Sharp and Denny on the court? Does he not know? Look, ifs and nuts, candies and butts, like Mike Tomlin said, if my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle. Like the St. Pauli game, Leipzig dominated the match. It starts to snow. I don't know what's a penalty and what's not anymore. I give up. Defender slips, makes inadvertent contact with a St. Pauli player in the box. Boom, 93rd minute penalty. Keeper gets a little bit of the hand on it, not enough. There goes our plus 200. Honestly, for me, it was plus 260 because I played it the day before. So that hurt. And then look, I told you guys, I think the Denny double-double is going to hit by halftime. It hit 5 minutes into the third quarter. Hopefully some of you just played it by itself for around plus 200. I wanted 3-1, Beltway Ben. I wanted 3-1. And so we paired it with the Blazers money line. And the Blazers had 70 rebounds and still lost this game. When the Blazers made 3 of their first 10 foul shots, Beltway Ben, I thought this might not be our night. When Denny Avdia misses 2 foul shots to give him free god-darn Chick-fil-A, I'm like, we might be in trouble. And then when they turned it over 15 times in the first half, I'm like, we're probably in trouble. When they turn it over 30 times in the game, when Klingon, yeah, I call him Klingon, he needs, like, you know what? He needs Dr. Spock to teach him some post moves. He's great at getting offensive rebounds, not so good at turning it into points. Big Dummy was all up in his kitchen. Big Dummy, I think, blocked Klingon 5. Big Dummy had 6 blocks. Beltway Ben, I swear 5 of them were on Klingon. Still, Portland down 2 with 15 seconds left, and Sharp takes a horseshit shot. I don't even know what that was. Actually, was it even Sharp? I don't even remember. It was a horseshit shot.
It was sharp.
It was sharp. I would say advanced stats would have given that shot probability like 12%, maybe. Anything you want to say about Beltway Ben? We could have easily been up 5 units. I mean, that's gambling, like, whatever. But, like, what happened? The Leipzig, that was a kick in the balls. 93rd minute. They added 4 minutes. 93rd minute, questionable penalty. And, I mean, look, the Blazers, he didn't put Denny back in the game until it was under the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter. I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah. Good question. I guess they're trying to manage his back, whatever.
He
Outside
didn't
of
play
that,
the night before. You need to win that game. You need to beat the Wizards, dude. They're actually trying to get in the playoffs. They really are.
I agree. I don't get it either. Outside of that, though, I had a good night. Brunson and that, we lost, but we hit both of our parlays in overtime. One was plus 202, and the other one was like plus 104, whatever, somewhere right around there. So we cashed both of those parlays. Cat went over his field goals attempted. We lost our over in the SEC. That was Vanderbilt did their part. Kentucky is a joke, and it's probably time I lay off of them a little bit for at least a few weeks because that was pathetic. Brunson got 28, and he played the fourth quarter, so I can't complain about a blowout, but could have used maybe a set of free throws there at the end if they weren't up 18. So he got us to 28. Harden got 10 assists, had like 6 in the third quarter, and didn't play the fourth. Thankfully, he was able to get over that number there in the third. And as I said, Cat's field goals, like Brunson still scored 28. Cat got his shots in. It was just,
that was a great call.
It was unfortunate that we couldn't get Brunson to score 2 more points. And if, like, in the first quarter, he scores 10. If you're watching the first 5 minutes, he's got 0. And I'm like, oh, this was a terrible read.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be awful. And then the rest of the game, he did just fine. It was just 2 points short. And I'm fine with that on a plus 130. But again, it was a very, very profitable night for me here. Outside, I mean, we also had 1.5 units on Denny. We tailed your Denny double-double Blazers money line. And we also tailed, or we put a half a unit on the triple-double.
Yeah, on the triple-double.
Which
that wasn't going to hit. Because nobody outside of Denny and freaking Shaden Sharp could hit a shot for that whole goddamn
dude.
team.
He had a few potential early. I'm like, what? Like he threw a few guys open, and it just whatever. They're bumps.
Real quick before we move on, I do want to give a shout out to the Hoff. And look, it was -1. It was -1 on the Hoff. -2 would have pushed, and -2 would have been about plus 500. Just because they're out there, Beltway Ben. They're all. Boy, they're all over us. Yeah. Like we're doing something nobody said we had to do, but they think we're rigging it. So that was -1. But the Hoff hit the first half money line. So plus 150 on that, plus 268. The Hoff delivered. The Hoff are worthy of having a nickname. And have we already handicapped the Hoff in Die Bundesliga this weekend? And will we be back on the Hoff? We're already on the Hoff. So I guess we go, right? We're good.
Yep.
Nothing else? First down. These are the champions. This is it. Final match day of the first round of Champions League. We find out who's automatic, who's in the playoffs, who's totally out. And we had the parlay yesterday. We'll have an anytime goal scorer parlay later in the show. There are a couple of matches we are on individually, though. Let's start with our guys, Borussia Dortmund, a.k.a. Bortman. Bortman hosting Inter Milan. We're going over the 2.5, -150. Sometimes we get a little too cute and sexy for our own good. But look, Dortmund, we've been on them in the Bundesliga. We've been on them in Champions League. They can't really defend, and they do score. They've been putting up 3 goals a game regularly in Die Bundesliga. Inter Milan, they average 2.86 goals per match in the Champions League. 5 of their 7 Champions League matches have gone over the 2.5. Dortmund Champions League matches average 4.86 goals per game. 6 of their 7 have gone over the 2.5. Dortmund scored 10 goals in 3 matches at home. Inter has scored 7 times in 3 road matches. So that's pretty darn good for the road in Champions League. 5 of Inter's last 6 matches in the Champions League have gone over 2.5 total goals. There's seeding at stake for both these teams. I expect it to be a little bit wide open. Both teams would probably rather have 3 points than 1. Also, we're on Bayern Munich. It's kind of standard fare for us with Bayern. They're at PSV Eindhoven. PSV Eindhoven can't defend. They can score. They play specifically wide open games at home in Eindhoven. We like Bayern to win this match. And for Bayern, Die Mannschaft, the Munich machine, to score 3 times themselves. That is eins, zwei, drei. Dry goals for Die Mannschaft. Bet MGM plus 130. Best value on this parlay. PSV has allowed 14 goals in 7 Champions League games. PSV at home have allowed dry, and Zwei goals. 3-3 and 2. Bayern's going to be pissed off after losing to Augsburg dropped their first, maybe only, Bundesliga match of the season over the weekend. We expect an A-team lineup here, and we expect 3 goals and a victory from Bayern.
First down here, I'm going to go to Draymond Green, and we're going to play something that we tried to play the last time these two teams faced off. We had him in a parlay and ended up pushing because of the injury and everything like that. So here, we're just going to play Draymond Green over 5.5 assists at -115. And you look at the matchup here tonight when you're facing off with a Jazz team that's allowing 31 assists per game. And Steph Curry can add a few assists here and there, but Steph isn't having a million assists per game, and he's not that type of point guard. He's a little bit more off ball now and doing those types of things. So in this spot, to be quite honest with you, I think Draymond, the minutes restriction scares me because it's not noted. It's not out there that Kerr has told everybody he's having a minutes restriction. But if you look at his minutes, it's 23 and 24 the past few games compared to when he was up to 29 to 32 before. Draymond, you're always also risking ejection and all those bad things. But I'm fine with that here against a Jazz team that sucks. Draymond's a point forward, and we've seen it. Last game when he got hurt against them, he was well on his way in the first half, suffers the injury, sits the rest of the game. We did get a push. If he is to get hurt again here in the first half, we could get a push. Can't get that for ejection because they don't do that, which it is what it is. But now just in this spot against a bad defense that's allowing more points than anybody, there are going to be assisting opportunities. And I don't know that Buddy Hield and any of those guys are going to be adding all the assists. It should be Draymond. Draymond loves throwing his young guys open and showing that he's a captain of the team and he can work with other people. Yep. So give me Draymond over 5.5 assists at -115.
Dirty work. Dirty work. Second down, let's go to college hoops where I sucked last night. How about Sparty totally laying an egg at Mike's famous Italian Subs Arena and our Stephen F. Alston Lumberjacks. Ooh. Barely won. Didn't come close to covering. But we will have some plays on spreads here, and then we will get to totals in third down. Let's start in the Big Ten. USC at Iowa. We're laying the 9.5 with the Hawkeyes. Look, I think there's a little bit of a bump here because USC, what they did Sunday in Wisconsin. But USC's schedule's been brutal. This is their second trip through bitter cold Midwest. They haven't played since Sunday. That's just enough time between games to not be able to get back to the West Coast. This is a USC team that went to Michigan and lost by 30, went to Sparty and lost by 29. Iowa's a real tough place to play. They're going to be fired up for this. Iowa's 10-4 against the spread as a favorite. Iowa's 8-3 against the spread as a home favorite. Beltway Bend. Margin of victory in those 11 games, 27 points. They cover those games by, on average, 5 points or more. Hawkeyes have also been really good on extreme rest. With 4 or more days off, they're 6-3 against the spread. We think it's a good spot for them. We love American at Loyola down the street from us today. We are doing a 2-unit GG play on this. You could go 4.5. You could go lay 3.5 at -20. We're going to go ahead and lay the 4.5 at -110. American is running wild right now. 7-1 against the spread in conference. 8-2 against the spread this season as a favorite. 13-6 against the spread overall. They've covered 7 of their last 8 games, and 6 of those 7 they've covered by multiple possessions. They're 8-4 as American against the spread after a win. These teams met earlier this season at American. American won by 15. It really wasn't that close. That spread was 8.5. This is a really flawed Loyola team, 340th in the country in overall Ken Pom defense. They're terrible shooting the ball. They're terrible defending inside, 340th in Ken Pom 2-point defense. They don't really do a whole lot well. I think Americans can score the ball inside and outside on them. And that number just skews a little low for me. Also, around here, classes are canceled. There's going to be nobody at this game. You can watch it on ESPN+. And then, look, we're on Loyola Marymount. We like them to cover the 6 tonight against Oregon State. Loyola Marymount struggled a little bit on the road, but at home, 6-3 against the spread. They have lost 4 straight games. We think this is a bounce-back spot for them against Oregon, a team they beat, Oregon State, I should say, a team they beat 76-70 earlier this season. Oregon State 3-6 against the spread in conference, 8-14 overall against the spread, 2-4 against the spread on the road. They've lost 4 in a row on the road. They've done some good work at home, beating Seattle at home. But we like Loyola Marymount to win this game. It's probably low scoring. And to cover by 6, I should say.
Yeah, second now for me. We're going to go back to that Warriors game. We're going to play Yusuf Nurkic over 11.5 rebounds at -115. Good spot for him here against the Warriors team, allowing 49 rebounds per game over their last 6. They don't have a true paint presence. And Jimmy Butler didn't provide a ton of that for them, but he was pretty strong on the glass, and he could do a lot of different things well, which is another reason that I do like Draymond tonight. When you lose Jimmy the past 4 games, we've seen Draymond right around 5 assists in all of those games. But here, we're playing Nurkic. He has been aggressive on the glass. He's been a triple-double machine if you look at what he's been able to do over his past few games when he's been on the court. He's dealing with an illness. He's missed a few games. I don't know how serious of a minutes restriction he's on. It's not like he's hurt his leg and they don't want to re-injure it, or his back or something like that. It's just an illness that has kept him out 1 or 2 games. I'd expect him to play regular minutes, and he's one of those dudes that just tips his up to himself. When you look at what he does inside, he's easy to get offensive boards. He'll grab every defensive board there is. He's kind of lazy. He's more of an anchor. He doesn't want to move outside and guard outside. He'll sit down there in the paint, step out every 2 seconds so he doesn't get the defensive 3-second call, and just grab as many boards as he possibly can. And that's been what he's been able to do most of his career, right? He's a little chunky, strong guy, and he's able to grab boards. One thing he's able to do, set screens, throws guys open a little bit how Draymond does, but he's a little bigger in that sense. So I do think Nurk is going to be aggressive on the glass against a Warriors team struggling on the glass. Give me Yusuf Nurkic over 11.5 rebounds at -115.
Halbzeit. We waited the allotted dry seconds. That's 4. At the risk, jeez, what was that? Hello, love. I don't want to mook all y'all's bets, but I think it's best that I handle this one because it involves me UMKC Kangaroos. The jackass next to me, he played the over 161.5 in the Denver Pioneers UMKC game. You blokes have been playing Denver overs, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
We like the over 161.5. Thanks, Kylie. Look, Denver overs are a way of life. Denver's 17-1-1 to the over on the season. Denver plays at a ridiculous pace. They can't defend at all, but they can shoot the 3 ball. And UMKC can't defend the 3 ball. And these teams met earlier this year. It was 84-74. That total was set at 157.5. Denver games have been going over by like 16.5 and 14.5 and 27. Denver is 6-1 to the over in conference. The Kangaroos of UMKC are 5-2 to the over in conference. The UMKC Kangaroos are 7-0 to the over when the teams are on equal rest. The Roos are number 2 in pace in KenPom rankings. They're 321st in overall defense. 274th in 3-point defense. First one to 90 wins. We can't buck those trends. We're also on the over in West Georgia and Bellarmine. 154.5 Beltway, Ben. Bellarmine, they're 7-1 to the over in conference. Those games go over by 14.4 points per game. That's kind of ridiculous. They're 4-2 to the over at home. Those games go over by 7.5 points per game. Bellarmine is 362nd out of 365 teams in the country in overall defense. They are dead last, 365th in opposing EFG. They're 361st defending the 3 ball and 362nd defending the 2 ball. They are a top 100 3-point shooting team, top 6 in the country in 2-point efficiency, top 15 in the country in overall EFG. The first meeting between these two teams was 87-85. West Georgia, 4-4 to the over in conference, so not a whole lot to make of that there. They're 330th in the country in overall defense. They've gone over their last 2 road games. Bellarmine, when the total is at 354 or above, is 6-3 to the over.
Yeah, I'm going to visit a college basketball over as well for my third down play here. We're going to play Texas versus Auburn over 156.5, and you can make that a 2-unit play here.
Nice, Gigi.
Yes, Texas versus Auburn over 156.5, and we're playing at 2 units. I talked about SEC overs just yesterday. I like it a lot. I liked yesterday's a lot. Kentucky just didn't show up for me offensively, and we end up losing that one. I'm fine going back to one right here. You look at what these two teams do. Sean Miller goes from Xavier down to Texas, and his teams are playing fast. 11th in KenPom offensive rating, but they've really struggled defensively. 86 points per game they're allowing on the road in conference play. Now you look at Auburn. Tough start to the year. Some of that's because Bruce Pearl steps down in September. His son takes the job late. Weird situation. But all of a sudden, they're starting to play pretty good basketball. 4 of their last 5 conference games they've won. And they're also averaging 84.7 points per game at home in conference. I think it's going to be a fast-paced game. A lot of offense here, like both of these teams have wanted to play all season. I think we honestly see both score in the 80s. Texas has gotten there with regularity. They're allowing over this 80-plus points with regularity. And then Auburn, like their defense hasn't been great at home. It's not anything special, but they've been able to outscore a lot of teams. When you have these two matching up, both teams want to play fast. It's not something that I need one team to control the pace. Both of them should be playing at a fast pace. So give me Texas versus Auburn over 156.5, minus 108, 2 units.
Excellent. Fourth down for me. We can say it's weird. I mean, I don't do a lot of these. I don't know if technically qualifies as fourth and weird.
I made it long.
Maybe it's more like fourth and long.
That's what,
because it's a long shot. A 3-leg anytime goal scorer Champions League parlay for today. Hat trick, Harry Kane. Obvious reasons. I mean, one of the 3 best goal scorers on the planet, going to Eindhoven against a PSV team that gives up a lot of chances and a lot of goals, and that because of where they are in the standings, are going to be even more incentivized to play wide open. You want to lean into Barron to score from a penalty again? I like it. But it's Harry Kane. Victor Osimhen was leading the Champions League in goals before he got hurt and missed some time with Galatasaray. Galatasaray playing a Man City squad that is absolute shambles in the back. I don't like the keeper. I don't like the center back pairing. I don't like anything about what's going on with City right now in the back. I expect Galatasaray to attack. Osimhen came very close to cashing for us last match day. He hit the post, had some opportunities, sent a few things just wide. But remember that he was just back from African Cup of Nations, and they weren't even sure if he was definitely going to play in that match. He's now had a chance to get his legs under him. I think they are going to believe that they can score multiple times on Man City. And then we're going to go to that Chelsea-Napoli match, and we're going to play Scott McTominay, anytime goal. The Scot is in great form. He scored 4 times in Napoli's last 5 Champions League games. Was reading some coverage from the Italian media. Gianfranco Zola, one of my favorite all-time Premiership players with Chelsea. Obviously, the Italian national team. He's been talking about what great form the Scot is in. He takes penalties. He's scoring inside the box. They're running everything through him. He's kind of a box-to-box midfielder for them now. Rasmus Højlund, not in great finishing form. I think there's goals against Chelsea today. You look at where those teams are in the standings, and you put those 3 together, it's 16-1. I mean, full disclosure, I played this yesterday. This thing lost a third of its value. It was almost 24-1 yesterday at Bet365. Again, they're all well-known players, international players, who've scored a lot in this tournament. But I still think it's I couldn't believe when I ran those numbers this morning. It was like, damn. But that's where it is now, and I like it.
Yeah, for me, we're going to go to fourth and weird, and we're going to play 2 different things. First, we'll start Con Knipple over 12.5 field goals attempted.
You got a Con Knipple fetish, Holmes.
Yeah, I like Con Knipple a lot, actually. I think he's a very, very solid young player in this league. But no, Con Knipple over 12.5 field goals attempted at -120, matching up
Can we
with the
just
Grizzlies.
call him the nipple from now on? Can we call him the nipple?
You can. Con
You don't like
Knipple
that?
over 12.5 field goals attempted -120. Knipple, like when you look at what he's done this year, early in the year, we saw him getting a lot of attempts up. He was shooting the basketball a lot more. Of late, it slowed down just a little bit. I'm fine with that, though, here in a spot against the Grizzlies, allowing more field goals attempted than almost anybody else in this league of late. When you look at what he's done, he's under this in 3 of his last 5, but I would expect some explosion here a little bit in this one. Like LaMelo Ball, it's a back-to-back. We already know kind of where they are with him, and they don't want him to play too many minutes. That's what they're telling you. I think it's more the coaches and huge fan of LaMelo, and they want to move on. Regardless, whatever they're trying to do there should be opportunity for Knipple to go over 12.5 field goals attempted. And again, you can get that at -120. The other play, another fourth and weird, Victor Wembanyama over 17.5 field goals attempted, -105. Spurs Rockets, we're going to get on them a little bit more in overtime. But to me, the last time they faced off, he wasn't able to get it going scoring, but he shot the ball 21 times. And he's been over this with regularity when he's not on a minutes restriction. If you cut it down, you take all the games out where he's played 23, 24 minutes around there, he's not going over this with regularity. You go outside of that, now he's playing 30-plus minutes again. There should be a tight game. There's a bit of a rivalry here between the Rockets and the Spurs, and these teams don't like each other and all of those good things. Wemby should be shooting the basketball here tonight. So give me Wemby over 17.5 field goals attempted at -105.
You ever tempted to do a fourth and weird field goal attempts parlay? Will they let you parlay those? I don't see why they
Bet
would.
365 will let you parlay anything you'd ever ask for.
They did block me from. There was something I was trying to do that I couldn't do that I was surprised.
Could you used to do it, or
Huh?
have you ever been able to do it through them? Because there's some stuff that they might be trying to crack down on.
No, I haven't tried to do that before, but like there was something in soccer markets I was trying to do, and I think it was a Bundesliga match, and they wouldn't let me do it. I was kind of surprised because I thought it was like anarchy, man. I thought it's like let's do, like, hey, you put it together, we'll price it, you could buy it.
Right.
I thought it was like Amsterdam. You know anything about Amsterdam?
That's from The Wire, right?
My man.
I'm a
You
big
did
Wire
anything you
fan.
wanted at Amsterdam, right?
Oh yeah.
Amsterdam-
Just keep it here.
Amsterdam was
Just keep it
wide
here.
open, brother.
Just keep it here.
Huh?
I said
Smart.
just
Is
keep it
actually
here.
smart. Kurt Schmoke, way back in the day when he was mayor of Baltimore, he talked a lot about deregulating the drug trade. People thought he was crazy. Actually, probably would have made this city infinitely more livable than it is. And I love living here. I don't want to live anywhere else. Well, I might want to live abroad, maybe sooner rather than later. But in the U.S., there's nowhere I'd rather live. But yeah, Kurt Schmoke was on it, man. Overtime. Drake made a throw a pick. Drake made a run at least 8 times, plus 274 at the DraftKings. Now, look, I don't know why I got, like, yesterday when I played this, it was plus 356. I don't know why it lost $1 13 days before this game. Are people running around? Like, did a whale bet come in on Drake May interception and 8 rushing attempts? Maybe. The kid is turning the ball over like crazy. He's going against a defense and Mike McDonald, who's a genius, who's got 2 weeks to scheme him up. He's got nobody individually who can win 50-50 balls. He doesn't have a difference maker to throw the ball to. Like, he's going to be jittery. His left tackle sucks. His decision-making is iffy. I think he's throwing a pick. And if they don't run him 10 times in this game, they have no shot at keeping it close. We've been tracking this. We've been talking to you guys about it. Even last week when they didn't run him in the first half, he still hit the 10 rushing attempts in the second half. Now, he's not going to get kneel downs here, but they're going to have design runs and draws for him from the giddy up. These are trends that served us well down the stretch, and I think the matchup is even worse for him than any matchup he's played all year. Their schedule was ass. Like, yeah, he played a tough Houston defense, but the other quarterback repeatedly peed down his own leg. Like, there are going to be mistakes from Drake May, and Drake May is going to have to be their leading rusher. Plus 274, DraftKings. Came in 2 seconds like Beltway Ben. I dedicate that overtime to you, Beltway Ben.
That's much appreciated.
This homemade iced coffee is for you.
That is absolutely much appreciated.
And I spilled it all over myself. Look at that. And I spilled it all over myself.
Very kind.
This top doesn't actually go with this, and it just came back to bite me. It's and we've got like 1,000 of these things. Yeah. It's like socks. We have a million of these, and none of the tops really go with the other ones. Yeah. And I can't find 2 matching socks in my house to save my life.
Right. That makes sense. Here, same game parlay in this Rocket Spurs game. We tried to attack it the last time these teams faced off because we could get plus money at just KD and Wemby. So here today, we're going to add in Şengün for 7+ rebounds because KD and Wemby are a little bit more juiced to get 20+ points. Kevin Durant, Victor Wembanyama, 20+ points. Alperen Şengün, 7+ rebounds, plus 120. Şengün's grabbed 7 boards with regularity. If it's tight down the stretch, you know he's going to be out there. He also likes to play Şengün ball. I was considering playing his field goals attempted just because of how he plays, but here we're just going to take him for 7+ rebounds. He's been aggressive on the glass. You know this is going to be a pretty ugly game. Not a ton of scoring both sides, so there should be rebounding opportunities. And then for Kevin Durant and Wembanyama, these are the 2 go-to guys. These are 2 guys who like playing against each other, who like going against the star and putting on a show. Here tonight, I think we get that. We didn't get it the last time. Neither one of them scored 20+ points the other day. But as I mentioned earlier with Wemby, 21+ shots attempted. And then for Kevin Durant, he scored 20+ points in almost every game this year outside of like 4 or 5. So give me KD 20+, Wemby 20+, and Şengün 7 boards, plus 120. And then our final play, just do this together. Same game parlay again. Vucevic and Siakam 15+ points, and Josh Giddey 6+ assists, plus 104. I really like Vucevic's points. I really like Josh Giddey's assist. Instead, I brought both of them down, parlayed those 2, and then went with Siakam, who's been aggressive. He's got his good motor working. He's playing hard. Everything's going well for him right now. 15+ points should be something that he can do in the first half. Vucevic, listen, it's all over the place scoring this year, but he is averaging just a little bit over this number. You're facing a really, really bad Pacers defense. We've talked about them. For like a 5-game sample stretch, they struggled, or they fixed their defense just a little bit. They're back up to struggling. Bottom 6 in the NBA over their last 6 matchups. We took the over in that Hawks game earlier. I was considering playing this over because look what you have. 2 teams who want to push the pace, who don't play much defense, and then a Pacers team who will purposely give up 40 points in the fourth quarter if that means holding on to a top 5 pick. So give me Vucevic 15+ points, Siakam 15+ points, and Josh Giddey 6+ assists, plus 104.
You obviously do much more work in the player prop markets than I do. Could you envision at some point this season, and it's going to have to be regular season for obvious reasons, could you envision a parlay that involves the nipple, big dummy, and spicy P? I don't want you to force it, but do you think that could?
Are you calling Siakam Spicy P?
Isn't that what they call him?
I've never called him that, but
my cat. That's what my kids have called him, Spicy P, forever.
Oh, really? Then maybe that is a
Mateo
nickname.
swears that's his nickname. I don't know.
That might be around the kids. Let me look it up. I'm probably wrong.
Maybe they've been effing with me. Like that's been a thing in my house for years. I'm like, dude, I have a hard time thinking. Like, is that really a thing? And they've been convinced, Rocco and Mateo, that he's Spicy P.
Spicy P is what they're calling him here. Yeah, nickname Spicy P.
I'm surprised you didn't.
That's what I'm saying. I know a lot. I never.
Dude, they stumped you. Spicy P.
I've never referred to another dude as
Spicy P. I don't want you to force it, but if you ever put that together.
Oh, I will put one.
You know Meatball. You know Meatball. It's going to be the fastest meatball ever. As soon as I see the graphic, I don't care what it is.
Nipple, it could be Spicy P.
Sideline farts. Boom. Over.
And who was the other one?
Huh?
Spicy P, the nipple, and who else?
And Big Dummy.
Big Dummy, yeah.
Big Dummy balled out. Dude, Big Dummy does not like the Klingon.
That pick looks great right now, by the way. Happy for the Wizards. Yeah. Very happy for the Wizards. But
when they play at Portland, I think I just got to go over rebounds, over points for Big Dummy, and over rebounds for both of them.
Let me look here. They don't play this week again together.
No. I mean, when they play against each other.
No, I'm saying for these 3 guys. When is the next time?
The next time they line up.
Yeah. Maybe Tuesday. Wizards, Pacers.
Trust
Damn.
me, when they first told me Spicy P, I'm like, this guy really has it. Like,
I've never heard anybody call him that. But again, like, and I'm pretty,
no,
you
that's
know
been
me.
going on in my house for years.
Yeah, I guess it is legit. His agency calls him it too. ESPN posted it. Yeah. It was a lot hotter in 2019, 2020, it looks like.
Yeah, well.
So I do see somebody, some of these comments calling him Spicy P are funny. Spicy P. Wow.
So that's
Never-
just something to think about.
It
Something
is
to dream
think
on,
about.
Beltway
It
Ben.
is. Absolutely.
Speaking of dreams, last night was a bloody nightmare for this bloke. Couldn't pick a goddamn winner. Thank God for the Hoff. Beltway Ben, thank God for the Hoff.
Yeah, without the Hoff. What, +2 something? It's a good
Hey,
catch.
Beltway Ben, how's me Joey doing? Where's
Away.
me Joey? You know
Right
how
over
you haven't
there.
had to pick. You haven't had to pick up.
Don't plan
What
on
did you
picking him
Mooks
up.
call him? Mookie Blaylock. Where's
Yeah.
me Mookie?
Don't
You
plan on
haven't had to touch him, have you?
We have had people who suggest we call him LaMelo, but LaMelo cashed for us recently, so
I
I
can't call him. That's my son's favorite player. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry to be saying all this in front of you, Kylie. I'm not married to Mookie Blaylock, but I can't go LaMelo.
yeah.
Beltway Ben, why don't you put the ticket back up, Beltway Ben, so I can tell the people just how horseshit he was last night. Oh, shit in the bed again. You told me I could come over here and sleep and play with me, Joey. And instead, I'm propping up your horseshit show. Anyway. Champions League at 3. Every match kicks off at the same time. Final match day. These are the champions. Hey, Beltway Ben, remember what you said. If one of my spicy Champions League parlays hit, you're singing the song, right?
Yeah, we did say that.
Huh?
I said, yeah, we did say that.
We did say that.
So if it's a draw, is it a push or it's a loss? If one of them draw.
Oh no, I'm done.
Oh,
they
so
gotta
you
win.
need them all to win. Okay.
Yeah, and I need all these guys to score.
Right.
Yeah, and that other one. Tomorrow we're thinking 9. Because I'm thinking they're going to be 2 hours late here. I mean, maybe they're totally canceled, and we could go back to 9:30. I got the alert yesterday while we were on air, like around 5. So they'll probably make an early decision about that. It sounds like it's going to be an early show tomorrow, and then back to normal Friday.
Yep.
Saturday,
Early.
they're talking about. Did you hear about the bomb cyclone or whatever?
No, what happened?
We're having like thunderstorms of snow, like a blizzard. The bomb. What do they call it? They call it a bomb cyclone. You haven't heard about this?
Maddie was texting me about this shit, dude. Get rid of this fucking shit. Excuse me, Ralph. I can't do this. I just can't. I can't.
Now you got it. Now you got to beep that out, or can
Yeah.
you just try to slide it through?
I can just cut it real quick on the podcast.
Okay. The bomb cyclone. So I don't know what that means for Saturday. There'll probably be, if that happens, there's going to be a lot of games canceled all over the East Coast anyway.
I'm not buying it. I think they're going to get this one wrong.
Really?
They're getting this one wrong, yes.
So what's your over under on how much snow we get over the weekend? How many
3 inches.
What's your handicap?
3.
That's nothing.
Yeah, I know. Dude.
I'm gonna say 8.5.
No shot.
Actually, I'm gonna say Kira. Kira's got the 10.5.
10.5. You're going that much again? After what we just experienced? Hell no. Not
I take
buying
my
it.
cues from Kira and
The weather,
Greg and Henry.
the weather people, they got one right finally. They're getting this one wrong.
They nailed
Swing
this
and
one.
miss. Yeah, they did. But they're getting this one wrong.
So we'll see about the rest of the week. But we do this pretty much at 11. We do some version of this 7 days a week. You can get us on Spotify, Apple Podcast. But please, you're really missing out if it's a visual show. So subscribe to the YouTube, please. Check us out on Twitter. We think of it as a TV show. Other people like to use the P word. I think that's a bit of a disservice on multiple levels, Beltway Ben, but it is what it is. Contracts and such. So that's the show. We wish you luck tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. You can email us at wantabetwithus@gmail.com. I think pretty soon we will have the new music from the Players Band. I'm excited about that. We'll have human music playing us in and out, and not music that I made on the AI. The only time I've ever used AI. That and for these logos. And I'll never use it again. But we do like the BetQL app. And if you go on the BetQL app, or go to BetQL, put in promo code WB15. I use it to cross-check multiple sports. You can get 15% off BetQL membership. WB15. And that's the show. We will see you tomorrow. Good day, mate.